Morning. It has it's been really warm the last few days. I'm going to show you a little project I've been working on. We have decided that we are going to extend our shop a little bit. Most of you know we're going to extend the shop out one more set of trusses to get the big delivery trucks in here in the winter time. So that means the curtain wall is going to get moved back. We need to insulate and plywood the ceiling, insulate the sidewalls like we did the rest of the shop. But most importantly, I dug this out. We have a company coming to pour concrete in here next week. So they're going to extend our concrete slab out another 8 to 10 feet. That way we can move all our curtain wall, everything back one more set of trusses to extend the shop to accommodate the bigger delivery trucks. Now, most of you that have been following along with me over the last year or so know that I've been talking about doing this for about a year now. This past winter was a little tough because the delivery trucks, like the back bumper could come in just far enough to get the doors closed, but yet it was sticking about 3 feet over this edge of concrete, which was pushing the tarp wall open, and then it was letting our heat out of the shop into the cold storage area, and it was not an ideal situation. Plus, with the front end of the truck pushed into the tarp wall, you couldn't really open the hood and work on the engine and things like that. So we've decided to move the tarp wall back one more set of trusses and kind of give us more room to accommodate those bigger trucks. And last year was kind of a test. I packed the barn for winter last year, and my ultimate goal was to pack the barn to where everything was from this truss back. And for the most part, I was able to do that. There was a couple things that were kind of sticking out just a little bit, but they were sticking out enough to where if I had someone help me pack the barn so I could get things a little tighter and closer, then everything would have fit perfectly. So this coming winter or fall, late fall, when we pack the barn, I'm going to have someone here helping me, guiding me, and being my eyes on the ground as I'm packing things away so we can get them in tighter and push them further to the barn or to the back. And everything should fit perfectly at that point. We have also been discussing putting up one of those big hoop barns behind this barn. That way we could get the non-power equipment out of this barn into the hoop barn, such as the seed tender, the grain cart, the combine heads, things like that can go in the hoop barn. Plus all the implements that are outside all the time could go in the hoop barn as well. And by getting rid of those things, that would create more room in here for power equipment to get pushed tighter to the wall and give us more room in here. But hoop barns aren't the cheapest thing in the world, so that might be a project for next year or the year after. We'll see. We'll see how this year goes. We are also going to have the cement people pour a bigger pad here so we can do all our power washing and everything on concrete and not be standing in mud as we're doing power washing. We figure while they're here pouring that, they can do this. The problem is I need the shop, and the concrete needs to cure for, they told me 10 days, so let's say 2 weeks. So what we're gonna do is they're gonna pour this pad so we could still use this door for the shop for 2 weeks. When that cures, we're going to excavate this area and have them come pour this, and then we could use that side door over there pulling in and out to use the shop while this concrete is curing. We're doing it now because of the fact that I'm done spraying and I have a good 4 weeks or so here, 4 to 6 weeks before I actually have to start pulling the combine and the heads out and start getting things ready for fall. So this is the prime opportunity for them to do the concrete work and have it done and cured by harvest time. But my main thing on the agenda today will be brush hogging. We have one of our fields. It used to be like a 15-acre field. The landowner sold off 10 acres for them to build a storage unit. So that left us with 5 acres right on the corner. We've been doing it for years. I mean years, like probably 15 years we've been farming this ground. The landowner lives 2 hours away. He also owns the corner lot right across the street that's only like 1 or 2 acres. The problem with the 1 or 2 acres, because he's been trying to get us to farm the 1 or 2 acre lot right across the street. The problem is it's like bowl shaped. So all spring it's like sitting in water and it's very muddy, and it's just, there's no way I could get in there and farm it without getting a tractor stuck or whatever. So according to him, he has to mow it. Per the township, he has to mow it at least 2 or 3 times a year, basically to keep the weeds down. I get it. And if the township feels that it gets too tall and they decide to mow it, I guess they charge him a crap load of money to mow it. So for a few years there, he would load his little tractor on a trailer and brush hog, and he would drive 2 hours down here to brush hog this field and then load everything back up and then drive 2 hours home. So he called us up, I think last year was our first year doing this, and he says, listen, he goes, we're only down to 5 acres, you guys paying for 5 acres of ground to farm. Let's do a trade. If you guys brush hog that corner lot for me 2 or 3 times a year, you can farm my field across the street for free. Which we sat down, we did the math, and we figured it out. It's like, yeah, that's a fair trade. Because what we were paying him to farm that 5 acres, it was cheaper than him paying the township to mow that lot 2 or 3 times a year. And he don't have to worry about spending an entire Saturday coming down here just to mow a little lot. So he said it was beneficial for him to have us do it and not pay rent on the land that we farm across the street. So now we brush hog his lot in exchange for being able to farm his 5 acre lot, which works out good for us. It works out good for him. The problem is I gotta go mow it now. I gotta go pay rent, basically. In our brush hog, we used to have much smaller tractors years ago, so we had implements for the smaller tractors. The brush hog is like one of the implements we haven't upgraded yet. So yeah, it's rather small compared to the little tractor now, but still does the job. We are currently shopping for a bigger one, like an 8-foot brush hog instead of a 5-foot. But I don't foresee us buying one this year. It'll probably be like a next year purchase. But at any rate, I'm gonna fire this bad boy up and go pay our rent. Plus, I'm not gonna lie, it's been well over 100 degrees, feels like well over 100 degrees the last few days. So sitting in the air-conditioned cab of a tractor for a few hours while I drive in circles would be kind of nice. Almost done. But see how we got a bowl shape? It's high here, low there, high there. Like all the water runs to the middle and it floods out in the spring. That's why we don't farm this. It's just too wet in the spring. I would love to farm this, but it's not worth it. I've decided that I'm going to do something that I haven't done in like a week and a half. And I figured it's a hot day out. It'd be a good time to just sit in the air-conditioned truck and do it. And that's to go check the crops. I haven't looked at any of the fields since I got done spraying. I'm expecting the corn to have exploded in growth because of this heat. And we had it side dressed as well, so it had extra fertilizer thrown on it over about a week and a half ago. When I was spraying, they did it. So I'm hoping that the corn has just exploded in size, but while I'm out checking the fields, I am going to rehang one of the gates at one of our other farms. It was the gate that got crushed by a tree. It ended up bending one of the hinges or the hooks at the bottom of the gate, and it's one of those things I just keep forgetting to get, and it's just like finally we got one about a week ago, and I just haven't taken the time to go out there and get it rehung. So I figure while I was out looking at fields and crops, then I'll rehang that gate while I'm there. There, that's back up. Don't look pretty, but it ain't worth buying a new gate just because it's got a little dent in it when it still does the same job. But the corn has exploded. Let's go see if it's going to be knee-high by the 4th of July, which is 2 days from today. I'd say it's definitely going to be knee-high by the 4th of July. It's about almost head height. Even the crappy stuff right here at the very beginning is waist high. So I'd say it's going to be knee high by the 4th of July. You can see they came in and out right here. I came in and out with the sprayer. They came in and out with the fertilizer. So this general area here is kind of run down just from traffic, basically. But overall, I think the corn's going to be looking pretty good. These beans here they are the very last beans planted for the season. Like, this is right here is where I finished up planting season, and they're not looking too bad. They could use a little shot of water, but honestly, this little drought we're going through is actually good for the plants. It kind of stresses them just a little bit and forces the roots deeper into the ground to hit more nutrients and moisture. And then when we get a shot of rain, they're talking maybe rain tonight, but when we get a shot of rain, these will just explode. All right, now that we're back in the air conditioner, we can drive around and look at fields. This is our new ground that we just picked up this year. Corn don't look bad. There are some spots that are like super thin and short, and that could be just the ground, because this ground was brand new. We didn't know anything about it. We did not soil test it. I sprayed it, we flipped it over, we spread fertilizer on it, and threw some corn in it. It's kind of like, it is what it is at this point. Let's just get it done and see what it looks like. So hopefully next year we'll be putting soybeans in here next year, and hopefully it'll work up nice and kind of go from there. But I think this is the worst looking corn we've gotten so far that I've seen. But Who knows? I haven't looked at everything yet. So I think, yeah, you can see it here, look. See how it has like high spots and low spots and everything in between? Yeah, it's not going to yield great, but we'll get something out of it, that's for sure. I did get a phone call from our agronomist, and they are coming to pick up a seed tote and a pallet. So I'm going to cut the crop tour a little early so I can go get that stuff loaded on their trailer, and then we'll go back to looking at crops. Holy crap on a cracker, it's a day hot enough to make the devil sigh. Got that seed box loaded for him, the pallet loaded for him, so now I'm looking at fields again. Going to our furthest north field to look at that. For the most part, this heat is a good thing for the plants. They do need a shot of rain, but like I said, I kind of want them to kind of go into just a little bit of a drought to force the root structure down further, deeper into the ground. But you also don't want to go too big of a drought, otherwise you can really hurt the plants. You see how the corn leaves are rolling up? That means they're shutting down and conserving their energy till the next rain. You don't want to see the leaves roll up like that, but we'll see. It's they're talking rain tonight, I believe. There's a good chance of storms. Right now a nice, I'd say half-inch of rain would be perfect, and then hit with heat again, but we'll see. We don't live in a perfect world, so we're gonna get what we get, and hopefully we'll have a great yield this year. This bean field's not looking too terrible, other than she's a little thin right here. Don't look at this, but overall it's looking pretty good. This whole field looks good. My spray job is actually working. Except for this thin spot. This is heavy clay right here anyway, so we've always struggled to have a good crop right here in this, I don't know, not even an acre area, but it is what it is. This is what I was talking about, the leaves rolling on the corn. When you see that on the side of the road and stuff, that means that corn needs a drink of water. You can look right down the row and see it. This is not our corn. This is actually the neighbor's corn, but ours is looking very similar to that. All right, I'm gonna move on and go look at some other fields. I think I'm gonna set you guys down for a minute and figure out what I'm gonna do after I look at crops. Alright guys, I think I'm going to end the video here. I ended up getting back to the farm after checking fields, and I ended up having to work on a delivery truck, and now it is 6:45 in the evening, and I am hot, sticky, sweaty, exhausted. I'm ready to go home. So now I'm weaving and dodging potholes to get home and dealing with holiday traffic. So, happy 4th of July. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.